Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. back with another video. You can find my contact information in the description box as well. Feel free to comment, rate, and review, all that jazz. Let's get on with the topic of today's video. Ontario government introduces brand new legislation to freeze rents for the year 2021, and it's going to go through 2021. The exact name of the bill is Helping Tenants and Small Businesses Act. Now, we're going to focus on the residential portion of this act, which affects the rent freeze for 2021. And residential, although I have done some commercial work, residential is where my personal real estate expertise lie, both in purchase and sale and leasing and rentals. Basically, what's happening is they're putting a freeze on the legal amount by which landlords can typically increase rents. So every year, there is a specific percentage point by which landlords are allowed to increase rents. And if they cannot increase more than that percentage point, that would be illegal. So they cap a maximum amount by which landlords are allowed to increase rents every year. 1 year is 2.3%, 1 year is 1.7%. It differs year to year, and the calculations obviously differ. What this legislation is doing is freezing that increase of rent. So let's say you're renting somewhere right now and you're going to go into 2021 and have another year-long contract and renew. Your landlord is no longer allowed to increase the rent. The rent amount has to stay the same. So let's say you're paying a monthly amount of $2,700 a month. It's no longer the case that the landlord can increase that by the legal amount allotted for 2021, which was going to be 1.5%. So you're no longer going to see that 1.5% increase. Legislation also will apply to landlords who have already given their intentions to increase the rent by the legal notice period, which is 90 days. Meaning before this legislation has been introduced and it's going to be passed, it's going to grandfather in those who have already given that notice maybe last month and the month before for 2021. The proposed rent freeze would end by December 2021. In 2022, the plan is that everything's going to go back to normal and the landlord therein has to give, once again, the typical legal allotted amount of days of notice, which is 90 days to increase rents for 2022. Meaning 90 days from December 31st, 2021, that is the time period in which the landlord has to give that notice for increased rents in 2022 if they choose to do so. Obviously, there's exemptions under this act. It does not apply to social housing or senior care housing or in vacant units, right? Vacant units are exempt because there is no incumbent tenant to increase the rent of vacant units. You can pretty much charge whatever price you want. Obviously, people don't do that because there's a market price and a market equilibrium, the supply and demand forces at play. But hypothetically, you can just increase the rent for a vacant unit to infinite amounts. The effect I think this will have on the rental market is actually quite a positive one, because what we're seeing right now is an influx of units for rent, causing the rent price to go down. As I've made videos in the past about this, go watch those. This actually motivates and incentivizes people to stay in their current contracts rather than seek cheaper areas, maybe in the outskirts of the city, as I've said in the past, or move back with the family, as I've also said in the past. So since people are going to stay in their current program, or rather contract at their current units, there's going to be less units going up on the market for rent, meaning the supply, the inventory is not going to greatly outweigh the demand, as is the case right now. It's going to actually provide some downward pressure on the inventory, influxing the market, and hopefully bring things back to balance a bit, because we've seen rent prices drop substantially, especially downtown core central areas of Toronto. Anyways, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate. That's your quick update. My contact information is in the description box. Feel free to contact me with any questions you have regarding real estate matters. And yeah, subscribe, comment, rate, and review if you found this video helpful. Thank you very much for watching.